Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Aries Moon Arcana. I hope you're doing wonderfully today. This is going to be a general reading for your sign for Mercury entering Cancer. That happens on May 28th, which for me is today. So Mercury is the sign of the intellect and the mind and how it works, how it absorbs information, processes information, and then expresses information. And Cancer, that's you, baby. That's the sign, you know, of the emotional intelligence and the intuition and the family life and the home. And so when Mercury enters Cancer, we're all kind of looking at collectively, hopefully, a softening of our intellect and our mind and using our intuition really well, being really aware of it. So that's pretty much what we're looking at collectively. I do think it's going to affect you stronger just because you're a Cancer. I think that's the way that it works. And I pulled an oracle card for you and I got the 10 of Pentacles reversed. So what I'm kind of feeling here in terms of intuition and improving intuition, I think what's going on is that there's going to be some sort of new plan, like a long-term goal to get everybody to be much nicer to each other and more loving and intuitive and understanding and empathetic of each other in the home front. So whether it's roommates that you have, family members that you have, children that you have, just a partner or a boyfriend or even an animal, and it's just you living alone and you have an animal, you know, really wanting to improve communication and just the loving, gentle nature of it all. And I see it because this is like, you know, the 10 of coins is like a legacy. So it's a long-term goal and it's reversed. So I think you're just starting it out is how I'm interpreting that. So I'm going to take you down Paradise City. Just kidding. It's a stage. All right. So first of all, let's clear the card's energy. For Cancer, we want it only to be Cancer energy here. Clear everybody else out. Starting from scratch. All right, and I'm just getting the feeling that Cancer wants to improve the communication in the home and the way that people treat each other, talk to each other, intuit each other, empathize with each other, and all around just kind of treat each other. I think that's going to be very important to you. Maybe you've been noticing that, you know, your family is bickering too much or people are not treating each other with as much respect as they should. And you're starting to like get really agitated by it, and it's just you want to put your foot down. You want to build a sanctuary. You want everyone to be more loving. So you're coming up with some plans, I think, on how to make that a long-term goal, not something where you're just constantly like, stop bickering, stop bickering, stop bickering to your two kids. You need a real long-term goal. King of Cups, 6 of Wands, Hierophant reversed, and the Temperance card. I mean, if that's really what you're setting out to do, you will be victorious. I have no doubt. King of Cups. I need a little seltzer, excuse me. It's so hot in here. Okay. King of Cups. This guy's got it under control. He's got his feelings, his emotions. This is how I think you are. You might be the person in the family that's a little bit just kind of the most emotionally mature, the most with it. You're not perfect, but you're the one that can calmly, rationally handle your emotions. You know how to communicate them. You know how to be loving and kind to people, and you know how to convince them to be loving and kind to each other. So I think this is really stemming from you wanting more people to be like that around you. You want to kind of maybe help teach your children about emotional intelligence, maybe teach other people about emotional intelligence. It's very important to you, and you kind of have a really good grasp of it, especially around this time with Mercury being in your sign. You're really, really on point with it, and I think that because of all of your victory, you're gonna have like a really good plan. You've got a plan. People are already looking at you like, oh, you're a saint. How do you put up with all this? How are you so patient and loving? And you're like, you know, I just am. So people are recognizing it and they want in. They want to know what they can do too. You know, you're kind of like leading by example, and also you're saying to them like, this is what I want to do. You know how you guys are always saying how like lovely it is that I'm so understanding? Don't you want people to think that about you? Right? So let's work on that. And I think you're gonna have like family meetings or something where you're gonna sit down and you're gonna be like, I wanna teach you how to do this too, because that's such a wonderful compliment to feel, and I want you to know that you're capable of that as well. And it's gonna really work out. It's gonna work out in your favor. And I see you setting up some kind of like Hierophant reversed. This is like the rebel position. I think you're gonna like go out of like the norm here to get people to do it. You're gonna like come up with some like crazy games that you can play for like emotional intelligence or something. You're gonna like look up all these things and come up with all these like ideas for just like that are just totally off the wall, you know, like rebelling against the typical structure of just like telling your family how to behave and then just hoping that it works, which it never does. That's just not a good strategy. You're gonna be thinking outside the box. You're gonna be coming up with new ideas, new like, maybe you make up some sort of outside activity or something where it's like a scavenger hunt and like it teaches you about your emotions or something. Like you're gonna come up with some really fun, really cool ideas. And I see the people around you being on board for it because they trust you. And because you had such a good conversation with them here, because you turned your compliment into how they can be better people too. So they're really on board with it. They're really open to it. And you're coming up with some really fun, really interesting ideas to try to convince people to be more loving to each other and empathetic. And voila, baby cakes, Temperance is the card that comes up. This is great. Excuse me. I see balance here. Lots of balance, lots of like faith, the universe energy coming down to you. Everybody kind of feeling just balanced and like it's like a sanctuary. I see you building this in your home. You're gonna get to this point where it just feels so calm and loving and gentle and happy and wonderful, like water just flowing, like you can kind of hear in the background. You know, that's like the life that you want for yourself. And I think you're going about it. I think because you're so emotionally intelligent here, because you really have it under lock, I think you're going to just systematically go about it in a way that really shows success here. Really shows success here. I think this is an awesome reading. This is so fun. What a fun thing. All right, let's clarify, huh? Let's get into it. So we're going to clarify the King of Cups, please, for Cancer, for the Mercury entering Cancer transit in May. So we've got, I'm seeing this as like the Cancer being kind of the emotionally intelligent one of the group right now. Just the person who has the most self-understanding, self-awareness, the most empathy, the most ability to kind of like bring people together and not overreact or take things personally. You know, you're just very level-headed and level-emotioned because of this transit. Six of Pentacles, King of Cups again, and the Two of Wands. Beautiful. So yeah, you've struck a real balance. Struck a real balance with give and take. You know exactly how to respond to people when they give to you, and how to make them feel seen and heard and loved, and how to give right back. King of Cups again. That's you. That's you. You might be bringing in another parent. This might be another, you know, your spouse or somebody that you can maybe get on your side first so that the kids are on board or something like that. Like I'm seeing bringing somebody else in. If this is a roommate situation, you and one other person might be the most mature ones, the ones that people look up to the most. So you might be the two people that really start to make the plan for moving forward. Or it's just you and you just feel really secure about it and solid about it, and you're looking at all the possible ways that you could improve this situation, improve the bickering and just the shitty, like, people not really respecting each other's feelings. You're really setting out to improve this. You're looking at the plans. You're looking at what you could possibly do. There's a whole world out there. There's so much to do. You could just literally be Googling. Looking at the earth could just be Googling the World Wide Web to find out ways that you can improve people's emotional, you know, how people are treating each other. So I really think, I love this so far. I think so far so good. And then, you know, you come up to this point where you have these conversations with people because you've done some research, you've got some ideas, you want it to be well received. So you know, because you are super empathetic, so you know how to communicate these things, especially with Mercury being in Cancer right now. You know exactly how to communicate what you are thinking in such a loving way that people are just on board with it. So I see you having a lot of success. I see people really like feeling like, wow, you're so secure and stable emotionally. Like, I wish I could be like that. Or, you know, people are just complimenting how patient and calm and loving you are. And you're like, well, it's funny that you say that because I have some ideas that could improve everybody. So let's do this together. And I see it being very well received. So let's get some cards for this. The Empress reversed, the Emperor reversed, and the Fool. Holy Lord in heaven. I really do think you're going to have to get the Patriarch and the Matriarch together on board for this one. The Empress and the Emperor, serious couple, but they're reversed. You know, there's going to have to be, you guys are going to have to get together on this and figure it out. You're going to have to figure out what your plan is. I think it would fall on deaf ears if you were to just start saying, well, let's just treat each other better. And then everyone's like, okay, that sounds good. And then it just falls apart because you don't have any actual structures in place, which is where the Hierophant will come in next. You really want this to be long term. You want it to be sustainable. So you have to really sit down and talk to your spouse, like I said, or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Maybe you are living with somebody and you guys share an animal. Maybe you need to get together and sit down and figure out how to deal with the fact that maybe your dog's depressed or something, or your cat's miserable or too overactive and it's a problem. Just coming together to really kind of like figure out what the things are that need to happen, because that hasn't happened yet. That's why I'm seeing them reversed. You haven't come together quite yet. But that's up to you. You're gonna be able to get that done, because then what happens is you guys come up with this plan and then you just go for it. You just jump right off a cliff. You're like, all right, we're doing this. We're doing this plan. And I think that it works really well. You're kind of like really excited about it too. Once you get together with that person and everybody's on board, and you guys are really, connected on the ideas, like you really agree with each other, it's gonna feel really exciting and new and fun. So I do see you kind of like leaping into some fun new way of keeping your family connected, or keeping everybody like really loving and awesome, just like you are, wonderful Cancer. So now let's get into the Hierophant reversed, please. Cancer. So this to me looks like out of the box thinking. Whatever you guys need to plan, whatever you need to get together, it's not going to be your usual way of doing things. It's going to definitely be unique. It's going to go against some ideas of how you're supposed to treat your kids. Maybe your parents taught you that it was important to spank your kids or hit your kids, and you're like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. So, you know, you're rebelling against some sort of structure that you guys, or that you like kind of knew or understood or thought to be true for a long time. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm just seeing kind of like rebelling, thinking outside of the box, forgetting your family, more emotionally connected. You've got a lot of options. 7 of Cups, 9 of Wands reversed, 7 of Wands. People are not going to fight you for this, but you're going to keep it going. You've got a lot of different things you can do. And you have so many ideas, I feel like. Especially once you start researching, you've got so many ideas. It's a little bit, I think you're falling a little bit into like fantasy land here, like imagining all the kids hugging each other and loving each other and telling each other that they love each other all the time. That's not realistic. I know that you want it, but I think you might be like living a little bit of a fantasy, but that's not going to stop you. You're very emotionally available for everybody, and you're really holding your ground with this. You really want this to happen because this is the card of like long term. This isn't just like happening overnight. This is something you really, really want to last. You're really holding your own. You're really gonna like keep it going. When other people lose their interest, you're gonna be the one that's like, nope, we gotta still do this. Don't forget, Sunday is like family game night, and this is where we like develop our empathy and love each other. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, you're not going to give up on it. It's something that you've decided is your new thing now. That's just your new thing now. And you're not going to lose interest in it. So yeah, I'd say like, watch the fantasy a little, but at the same time, it's kind of pushing you forward. It's kind of what's making you feel so open to it. So I can't fault you for that, and I think that that's okay to live a little bit in a fantasy world if the fantasy that you want is so wonderful and beautiful. Just be aware of when it's not there, and don't be so disappointed if it doesn't happen exactly the way you want it. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen, but I do see it happening because Temperance now. I do see it happening. Do I even need to pull outcome cards for this reading? It just all seems so straightforward. Temperance. For Cancer, for Mercury entering Cancer. And kind of, I do see some success here with like getting your family together or your people together or your friends together. Just a good, like, having everybody love each other just a bit more. More of a loving family home life. 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and the World reversed. You're starting a new cycle. It's gonna work. It's gonna take. It's totally gonna take. You've got a lot of good collaboration going on. That's why I think that the Empress and the Emperor here, I think that you do have a partner that's helping you along with this, and other people are interested in it too. I really do think that. And I think that it's all for yourselves. It's like your family, like you're keeping it together. You're not necessarily marketing this as like a whole new idea for other people. You're not necessarily bringing other people into the mix. This seems very intimate to me. Your family, it's all about your family and like how your close relatives are feeling. And so you're keeping it within the realms of those people. You're keeping it within the family context. You're not really bringing it out. But I see all new, World reversed, all new cycles. You've broken a different cycle, which is, again, could be just like that bickering, like shitty attitude that everybody had together. And you're really breaking the cycle, and it's leading you to this like beautiful world that you're working on and building together. And it's going to be even better than the fantasy that you have because it's going to be real and genuine and so peaceful. And I don't even know if that's why you want to do it in the first place, but it's just definitely like the best outcome is it becomes such a peaceful life that you guys have together. And I think that that's rad. So, oops, I just smashed my little gemstone. Okay, so let's just get some wrap-up cards, some outcome cards, please. Maybe we missed some messages or you just want to get more of an outcome, but honestly, I think that's a pretty strong outcome combination. But so we're just going to see if the cards have anything else they want to say to us. Is there anything else needs to be said for our Cancers, for the Mercury and Cancer transit? Anything else we need to know? Queen of Swords, 7 of Swords, Hermit reversed. No, I'm not going to lie to you. This doesn't make any sense to me. This feels like somebody else's reading. I don't want to just like try to fit it in. It doesn't make sense to me. This is somebody else's reading. Your reading ended here. This is exactly what I was saying. This is for somebody else. And I don't wish it on anyone, but yeah, no, I'm sorry, but your reading was done when I talked about the Temperance card. That happens sometimes, where I'll get this feeling that I'm like, okay, that was done, but since it's my structure to keep going, maybe I need to take a little page out of the book of the Hierophant reversed, rebel against my own structures. Because yeah, that just didn't feel, it felt wrapped up already. So I think you're good to go. I really do think this is going to work out well for you. If this is the kind of thing that you're setting on, if you're setting out on, if you're one of the Cancers that I was speaking to directly, if you know any Cancers or anyone for that matter, who, are having a lot of trouble in the home life, lots of bickering and stuff like that, send them my way. Have them watch this video. It might help. Who knows? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, please. It really does help me be able to do this all the time, which is ideally what I would love. I do personal readings in my Etsy store. It's in the description box below. And then I also have down there a schedule of upcoming videos so that you know what to expect from me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at the next one. Thank you, Cancer. Bye.